Hey guys, so it's me, Nicolette Mashile, also known as the Financial Bunny. Welcome to the Financial Bunny TV. I'm really excited today because I want to venture into a conversation around businesses. But I don't want to speak about businesses in the sense that everybody speaks about businesses, right? I think we often speak about businesses like they are these, like you're going to be the next Jeff Bezos or you're going to be the next, like we talk about businesses like business has to be that one absolutely amazing idea that you come up with and it's going to make you millions of money and that's literally you becoming rich of one idea. I think that it's time for us to speak about businesses in a very candid manner and speak about businesses like the types of businesses we do. I mean, we work in the content space and that's a business. You're running a business, you're creating platforms where other brands want to use your platforms or they want to use your voice or they want to use an association of you. I think it's time for us to really look at the basic, boring, mundane things that people are willing to pay for and build a business around them. And I've got 4 really great things that I think 5 actually really great things that I want to talk about and want to encourage people to consider building a business around. I mean, let's be fair. A lot of ideas when it comes to businesses are very far and few, or new ideas rather, are very far and few, right? And at the end, I want to share one business idea that I think many of us should really jump onto. I think it's going to be important. And it's often a business that a lot of people shame, which I think it's so childish, but we'll talk about it. I think let's go through the businesses. The first one, I don't think there are enough people who are doing mobile car washes. Now, I know it's very tricky in that space because mobile car washing may require a mobility. But I think if you do have the mobility, I think if you do have the right networks and you do some great marketing, you can really do well with mobile car washing. Of course, your pricing has to be really, really good. I don't think there's enough. I do know that also many estates and complexes have rules about, washing cars in the complex and estate, but I think there's a way you can get around it. What I've seen a lot of people do, especially in complexes and estates who do mobile car washing, is that they will do this thing where they've got like a little space outside of the actual estate, and that's where they will drive your car, they will wash your car, and they will drive it back to you. I think it's such a cool thing. I don't know, man. I just feel like it's not tapped into enough. And I really would like to know anybody that is in the mobile car wash business to tell me what are the challenges that are stopping a lot of people from going into that space. I just don't see enough of it. I know that a car wash for many people is an excursion or it's like a little trip. But I know for a lot of, and maybe if you're a man, maybe that's, and I'm making very big assumptions here. It's great to escape the home and go wash the cars on a Sunday. It's vibes with your friends. And yes, there's a social element that is attached to going to the car wash. And then there's a bottle store there. And then there's braai meat there. There's a whole lot of things there. That's great. But I think there are instances where people like myself, for instance, I can tell you, I'm happy to pay a mobile car wash because the only time my car gets washed, it's when it goes to the service because I just don't have the time to go. But if I'm parked at an office space, if I'm parked at my home, it would be great to have somebody come and wash my car in my space and then my car is washed. I don't have to drive anyway. Do you get it? Like, I feel like we need more people going into mobile car washes. I don't know what the challenges are. I still need to do a bit of research in that space. But if you are somebody, please drop it in the comment section. And then I think the second one for me is personal chefs, private chefs. I think the idea of calling somebody a private chef always makes it sound like it's going to be very expensive, right? And I think private chefs themselves make this a very expensive exercise, which I don't think makes sense, right? Guys, let's be fair. Not many people have the time to cook for themselves, especially single people who live alone. First and foremost, I'm not trying to cook. I hate cooking, okay? And cooking for yourself is so stupid, guys. I just feel like it's healthy, yes, but it's time consuming. And then you've got to think about washing the dishes after you cook, cleaning the kitchen. Listen, I don't have the time for that. And I just think that sometimes we think private chef sounds so expensive, so a lot of us don't do it. But I think also themselves, the private chefs, because they've gone to these very expensive schools and, guys, you can make money and just scale. Let me tell you, if you cook, for instance, every day for somebody, if you cook 5 times a day and you charge that person 100 Rand every time to cook for them, right? 100 Rand is 500 Rand for one meal in a week without weekends. If you cook twice, that is 200 Rand, right? A day. 200 multiply by 5 is 1,000 Rand. That's you making 1,000 Rand from one person in a week. You literally can multiply this because you can actually cook and just serve the same menu. You don't even, like I always tell people, for me, if I was a private chef, I would have the most basic menu. And I know that a lot of people don't care about fancy food, guys. They don't care about fancy foods. People just want to eat. If you are going to make hot dogs on a Monday, on a Tuesday, you're making us burgers. On a Wednesday, you're making lasagna. On a Thursday, you're making popoti and rice. Guys, people sometimes just want to eat. And you can cook that in bulk and deliver it to people's homes. And you can tell them delivery, they must pay for their own delivery. So for instance, the girl who used to cook for me, she would put the food on Uber Connect. And then I would pay the Uber Connect when it arrives. Like, I feel like if you can get 10 people, you can literally make 10,000 Rand every single week. 4 times, that's 40 grand. Guys, come on. I think there's value in that. And again, another business that I have never done, so I wouldn't know what the costs are. But I just feel like it should not be that expensive. I think there's a way to go around it, right? Especially if you're cooking in bulk, especially if you're offering people the same menu. And I guess many of these businesses are about finding the right clients. But I think if you can find a way to market very well, and you start off with your group of friends and you offer to cook for your group of friends, because I know you got friends that are single, and you offer to cook for your group of friends, they will refer you to other people. But you gotta be a great cook also. Don't be a shitty cook. You know what I mean? Like I think that's a way to make money. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I just think that's a way to make money. If we just take away the private away and we just leave it at chef. A chef is somebody who cooks, right? Is there a difference between a chef and a cooker? Because I just feel like unless a chef is a person who designs, culinary chef, maybe that's where it becomes different, right? But Michelin star chef. But I think if you're looking for someone who can cook for you, and maybe let me take away private chef, let's rather put in cook. Somebody who can cook for you. Let me tell you, the market is there, it's open, it is available. We need convenience. And sometimes I don't feel like eating Woolworths food or microwave food. I want to eat food that is cooked by somebody, that is curated by somebody. And I think you can keep it fun and keep it exciting. Every week, maybe change the menu. But I do think that there is a boerewors rolls. Do you know how much I love boerewors rolls, Mina? I love boerewors rolls, guys. I'm the easiest person to ever cook for. You give me boerewors rolls on one day, the next day you hit me with a burger, the next day you hit me with a chicken salad. Listen, you take away so much stress from my life. I am the happiest person in the world. I promise you. The next one I think that a lot of people need is personal styling. Personal shopper and personal styling when it comes to clothes. Many of us hate the malls. Many of us hate fitting. Many of us hate just looking for clothes. I am one of those people. I hate shopping with my whole heart. Shopping for clothes, I hate it. I cannot stand it. I don't want to do it. I'm telling you, for probably the most of 2022, I spend in the mall trying to find outfits for events. Like up and down, this shop, that shop, H&M, out of H&M, Zara, out of Zara. I hate that life. I don't want to do that. Personal styling and personal shopping, I think, is still a big gap in the market for people. Of course, again, there's an illusion about it being this very expensive exercise. And I think even personal shoppers and stylists themselves try to make it very expensive. Y'all need to stop doing that, because that's what makes the business not become profitable, because y'all make it sound like it's a thing. If you've got 5 clients, for instance, that you are doing corporate styling for, because some people just want to go to the office. They just want clothes to go to the office. If you go there every Sunday, you lay out their outfits for the week. Guys, I promise you, there's nothing I hate more than finding an outfit in my cupboard. Okay? I hate that. I hate finding clothes in my cupboard. I just want things to be easy, put out there, let me go shop. And people will say, yeah, but you have privilege because what? No, there are people like me who are out there who are willing, even if they don't have the privilege or the money, but that's one area in their life that will make them more productive if they don't have to worry about it. That for me is very, very important. Mom relievers. Let me tell you something. I was home for December, okay? And I saw how much my mother like class. Up and down, with children, with food, with this. And I was like, hey, boy, I'm not talking about a nanny. I'm not talking about a cleaner. I'm talking about somebody who relieves moms. Like, I think the mom job is such a big job, guys. Like, I cannot believe that people are surviving as mothers. They can, like, even yesterday, I went to visit my friend and I'm watching her. Like, hey, 1 minute. Next minute, she's at the pots. Next minute, she's pouring drinks. Next minute, she's asking people, what do you... I'm like, ma'am, you need a babysitter. Because what is this? No ways, guys. I'm like, nah, cut the cameras. What is this? I promise you, mom relievers. And it might sound like a very, very weird notion, but I think it's important. I think moms need, like, you need an extra you know? So you gotta create an extra person because, guys, I don't know. Like, I just feel like if you're a mom, you are doing so many things that are like almost impossible. And we have mothers talk about self-care, whatever. You need somebody to remind you. Go and do some self-care, okay? Because your kids ain't gonna remind you. Your husband is not gonna remind you. Your boyfriend is not going to remind you. You're not gonna remind yourself. You need a mom reliever. That is a business that is important, okay? Sometimes you forget to pick up the kids at school because you're so busy. Your mind is going like, nah, guys, nah. We need mom relievers. And then I think the last business idea that I think will really pop, and I don't think there's enough people, or people don't think about it, is entrepreneurs need friends. I know that sounds crazy, but entrepreneurs need friends. But it's not the type, you know, if you've ever watched Grey's Anatomy, Meredith and, what's that Chinese lady's name? And I'm sorry for saying Chinese, but she looks Chinese to me. She could be Japanese, Korean. I do apologize for my ignorance. But what is her name? She left the show, man. Not Dr. Han. But that lady, they were like, Meredith would say, you're my person. Entrepreneurs need people. I need a person. A sounding board. A person who randomly I can just turn around and tell my ideas to. A person I need to complain to and vent to. It's not a personal assistant. People think it's not a personal assistant. You need someone to complain to. You need somebody to get excited to. You need somebody to share ideas with. You need somebody who's a sound, like, I don't know how to explain it, but we are being a umuntu, man, as an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is very lonely. And it just, like, I just feel like sometimes, and I was trying to explain, and I felt it last year, I was trying to explain to myself, what is the actual need? And I could not land on it. But what I realized is you need a personal assistant, best friend, somebody that's just there all the time. Literally, they get paid to just be there all the time. They're not doing anything really constructive, but they are offering you a sense of companionship that I don't think exists in the world yet. I think it's important. And then that extra business that I wanted to talk about, that I think people keep shaming, but we're not doing enough of, especially in South Africa, is what is called white labeling. Guys, please, man, y'all need to stop this thing of saying, oh, but the clothes are not made in South Africa. Oh, but they just took amategi and put a brand on them. Oh, but they just took cosmetics and put their name on. Guys, people been doing that for years. In other markets, it's a big thing. Let me tell you, baby girl, baby boy, go out there and white label it. Pick a product you like, make a brand name, white label it, buy only on demand, sell that stuff. Stop Guys, you don't have to recreate everything. You don't have to recreate everything. There is a reason why white labeling is a thing. And people are thriving in white labeling. But we too are ashamed. Oh, I don't know. People. Oh, okay. Sharp. See you on the next one. Sharp. Bye.